Time check on Tobago updates is brought to you by Flow, Tobago's newest fiber network.
This Christmas, speed is on us. Get up to 300 megabits per second of speed with our new Link Up Plus plan. Enjoy more speed, more channels, and free streaming for less. Plus, introducing Link Up More with up to 1 gig download speed. Download, stream, video call, share memes, and more. Get free installation when you sign up in-store or online today at discoverflow.co.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
And welcome to the morning show on Tobago Updates Television. This is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. I am Adana Kumbi.
Good morning to each and every one of you connecting with us out there. Those of you right here in Tobago, those of you joining us in Trinidad, in the region, outside there in the world at large, ensuring that you tune in. Those connecting with us via social media, via TV, listening in, YouTube, wherever you are on the outside there. Good morning, good morning. It is a beautiful, beautiful morning indeed. My kind of weather.
Yes,
I'm Julian Skeet, and thank you so much for having us once again coming into your homes and your spaces, moving with you on this Tuesday morning. Adana, how have you been? How have you been after that kind of energy and excitement?
Well, you know, I have celebrity status now, so
Yes,
talk
yes.
to me nice. This is just a joke, guys, a joke. But, you know, I'm doing well. I feel good. And, you know, I'm looking forward to our show again this morning. We always bring information to people in and around Tobago as to what is happening in our space, and of course the festive season. I bask in the aura of the festivities and all that is happening around. Last night, I think there was storytelling at the Botanical last night,
Yes.
and spoken word, which was something, you know, quite enjoyable, and they continue their series of events throughout the entire season. So that's happening on the island as well. But
quite an interesting lineup.
Yes.
I'm actually very pleased. You know, at the end of the day, you know, I always make the point. Let's look at how we can improve on stuff. We don't just need to stop it. For a number of years, the lighting up of the Botanical Gardens has been exceptional. You know, you take your family, you take a good walk through. I'm very happy again to see the addition that took place this year. And we're definitely going to have some follow-up discussions coming up with that in our rundown today.
Right.
All right, but at this point, viewers, we're heading straight on over to news in 90 seconds.
Thank you, Julian and Adana. Here is your news in 90 seconds for Tuesday, 12 December 2023, brought to you by B-Mobile. It's a Christmas season with B-Mobile. A Colombian male and 2 Dominican Republic females face charges of human trafficking and violations of the Children's Act in Tobago. Davy Oscuro Silva, Digna Yule Los Santos, and Alexandra Chalos Pozo, residing in Riseland, were jointly charged with child trafficking. Dos Santos and Pozo also face charges relating to transporting a person for prostitution, with Pozo additionally accused of inciting a child to become a prostitute. Arrested during a police operation in response to information on a child prostitution ring, They were denied bail and remanded into custody until December 22, 2023. Minority Leader Kelvon Morris criticized fellow assemblymen for allegedly neglecting to address nearly 50 questions during plenary sittings. Morris, in a press conference, named specific colleagues, accusing them of shirking responsibility and hindering public accountability. He highlighted concerns about the THA legislature and sittings, noting a breach of standing orders governing agenda items. Morris disclosed that a THA secretary consistently deferred questions for 6 months, suggesting a deliberate evasion of accountability to the minority. He also criticized Chief Secretary Farley Augustine for not addressing over 9 questions spanning a 2-year period, highlighting a perceived lack of transparency. Minister of Education Dr. Nyan Gatsby-Dolly revealed that 10 students were expelled from the school system in the current academic year, while 3 were expelled in the previous year. She acknowledged the unpleasant nature of expulsions and noted media coverage on the circumstances leading to these actions. Gatsby-Dolly emphasized that expelled students are provided opportunities for education, such as the military-led academic training program. The minister clarified that sending expelled students to Milat is not new and has been long-standing practice for those needing additional support. And that was your news in 90 seconds, brought to you by B-Mobile. It's a Christmas season with B-Mobile.
News in 90 seconds was brought to you by B-Mobile. It's a Christmas season with B-Mobile.
This Christmas we celebrate it, cause B-Mobile they coming with rating. So brace yourself for plenty prices, cause this season will be the nice. It's the most deals and the most vibes and the most cars and the most price. The most giveaways, the most parang. Having a Christmas season with B-Mobile. I want a Christmas season with B-Mobile. Bring the sorrel with us to a Merry Christmas. Having a Christmas season with B-Mobile.
Top up, buy a plan, sign up or pay your bills. Enjoy the best Tobago Christmas. Be mobile. Life is on.
Having a Christmas season with B-Mobile. Yes, I'm in my B-Mobile colors today. Not yet bright enough, but green. That touch of Christmas. We are in that spirit. We're in that season for the year. And you know, I'm going to continue to encourage. And you see that gentle reminder out there to each and every one of you. Whatever your blessings may be in this season, remember to share a little with someone in need. That's all I'm asking you for this Christmas season. Whatever your blessing, remember to share a little with someone in need. Adana, who do we have on the rundown this morning?
Right, in conversation this morning, we'll be speaking with Natisha Charles Panton, Secretary of Division of Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment and Sustainable Development. And of course, it's Christmas season, and so we're talking about the calendar of events for the Botanical Gardens there. What they have going on for this Christmas season, as well as the Best Bike Show 2023 that also is coming up in our conversations today. We also speak with Karen Nunes Teixeira. She's a deputy political leader of a new political party, Honesty, Opportunity, Performance and Empowerment Hope. New political party in Trinidad and Tobago. So that conversation will also be had. And then we end things with Nathan Green, director of Limitless Living TT, Giving Tobago Project. So that's how our conversations look this morning on the show. These are who we're going to be talking with to get information as it relates to these topics.
Excellent. So we look forward to those upcoming discussions this morning here on the Tobago Updates Morning Show. Yes, folks, it's Tuesday, the 12th of December. In case you lost track of the date, we're edging closer and closer to that countdown. If you haven't started your Christmas movements yet, yes, and I want to call it movements, because it might be the cake, it might be getting stuff, it may just be the cleaning, it may be varying things. For the ladies, some still very, very, very much firm with regards to their new curtains and so on.
That's
for the
right.
period. Whatever it may be, Just remember, it's the 12th of December. I got to check that record that came out just to notify those who work with the government services what date will be paid it for this December period, so that you know what to line up accordingly. I'd leave that conversation right there before I get into any further trouble.
That's right.
All right.
That's right.
All right, viewers, we want to say thank you so much again for choosing the Tobago Updates morning show. And at this point, as we prepare to take a break this morning, and just before, in fact, we're going into our birthday lineup, our birthday shout-outs. Start with the lovely, should I say my sister indeed, Avion Parks. She continues most certainly to celebrate, and we want to wish you the very, very best, Avion, coming from our entire family, wishing you a happy, happy birthday. In fact, I know it's going to be a birthday week. Yesterday was the signal of the start of that week.
That's right, that's right. And on screen now, celebrating a birthday is Kerry Douglas. Kerry Douglas is celebrating a birthday today. And we want to wish you the very best for this birthday, coming to you from all of us here at the Tobago Updates Television.
Birthday blessings, Kerry. And on screen we have Jace George. And this morning we're taking the time out to wish you birthday blessings, my brother. We trust that you continue to enjoy the celebrations coming from the entire Tobago Updates family. Yes, and that was our birthday shout-outs there taking place this morning. And to each and every one of you, those who connect with us on the live regularly, any other birthdays that we have out there, we want to wish you a happy birthday. You're celebrating that blend of Christmas and a birthday in the mix. I'm not quite sure how that works, but we want to wish you a happy birthday nonetheless. A quick shout-outs going out to Elsa on the live with us, Cynthia, Alman, Pearl, Murray Beard, Auntie Dora in the mix, Lisa James, Faithful, connecting with us and providing that support each and every day. We want to say thank you so much to each and every one of you for continuing to choose the Tobago Updates morning show.
And before you finish the shout outs on the live, I want to shout out Robert McKenzie, who views us every day on our YouTube channel. Robert McKenzie, I want to say a special good morning to you. We see you and we acknowledge you. Thank you so much for choosing the morning show on Tobago Updates, and we do hope that you have a good day, and as you continue to view, that you will be enlightened and that you will just grow to love us even more and continue to support us in the way that you do. Thank you so much, Robert.
Thank you indeed to each and every one of you out there, and as I always say, to remind you gently, we are number one because of each and every one of you that choose us day after day. So thank you once again. And at this point, viewers, we prepare to head on out to a break. Before we have coming up, we look forward to our early first discussions with Natisha Charles Pantin, and we're talking Christmas things happening out of the THA. So we look forward to those upcoming discussions. And at this point, we want to remind you that this is your opportunity. We're at the start, we early, we ready. It's Christmas time. Remember to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
So your car break down.
Oh, no, not again.
And you're worried paying a wrecker could mean a pocket breakdown too. But when you're insured with Tatil, no stress.
Yes!
A Tatil motor policy has lots of benefits that protect your pocket, like free roadside assistance. That's free 24/7 every time, as many times as you need. Tatil, where people are people. A member of the Ansa McCall Group.
Light up the Christmas with the best fiber. Surfboard channel switch to Amplia. Thousands in prizes, plenty smart TVs. 1 year free service and free groceries. We surfing with Amplia. We winning with Amplia. We binging with Amplia. We winning with Amplia. Sign up now for 50% off plus a chance to win over $100,000 in prizes. Call 800-4663.
Jimmy's Holiday Resorts has 1, 2, and 3 bedroom, fully self-contained apartments located at the heart of Crown Point. Minutes walk to the popular beaches, restaurants, bars, and the airport. Enjoy our amazing amenities such as fully equipped apartments, complete with Wi-Fi, AC, TV, and a pool, and a mini-mart on the compound. Call 639-8292 or 8929. Jimmy's Holiday Resorts is your family's home away from home.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers. We're just at about 7:12 a.m. this morning, and welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show, coming to you here live from the Port Mall in Scarborough, Tobago. Yes, folks, it's Tuesday, and it's the Christmas season. It's the Christmas season. You see how the ad gets into you naturally. All right, and shout outs I see on the live with us this morning. Feet for Pearl Marie Beard, Julia Brown. Good morning to each and every one of you continuing to connect with us there this morning. At this point, we're heading on into our first interview this morning, and we have on set with us Natisha Charles Pantin, Secretary with responsibility for the Division of Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment, and Sustainable Development. Yes, folks. And she came in here this morning, entering the door with all her Christmas glory, spirit, and energy. Good morning to you and welcome.
Good morning, Julian. Good morning to the Electoral District constituents of Bagatelle Bacalet. Good morning, Tobago. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Wow.
You have to get the yes. combination in the mix. So as we get started this morning, there seems to be a lot happening out of your division, specific at that, between your division and your electoral district, in the spirit of Christmas. So let's get started there as we chat a little bit, firstly in relation to the happenings at the Botanical Gardens.
Oh yes, the beautiful Scarborough Botanic Gardens. I want to first say congratulations to the hard-working planning committee. Congratulations to the staff, and I want to, make that special announcement that no contractor was hired to light up the gardens. The garden was lit by a combination of people led by Mr. Busby, our electrician, in-house electrician. And I want to say congratulations to the entire team. We all pulled together to get this thing off, and it was amazing. It is amazing.
Excellent. And that's a good note on which to start. So this would have been done in-house? In-house,
no contractor. All the creativity, it came out from each and every one of us. All the ideas, we gathered all the ideas from everyone, even people from the public. And, we put it in the gardens for you all to experience it. So come out and enjoy it. Yeah.
Definitely. We always make the point that good, bad, or great, in terms of good, bad, or indifferent, ultimately the buck stops with the secretary, with responsibility for that general control and direction. But I want to get a little bit into the inspiration behind. Over the years, we've done the lighting up of the Botanical Gardens. And as I was mentioning earlier, you go with your family, you take that walk through, you enjoy this piece. And this year, boom, not one, not two, but every night for an entire period, there are activities and things happening in this piece. Tell us a little bit about the inspiration for this.
The inspiration came from, a lot of us, around the table in terms of the planning committee. When you think about the way families have become so disconnected You know, sometimes you wake up on mornings and you say hello to people on social media and all, you know. So we wanted to bring back that family love. You know, we are not only family, extended family, friends. I saw over the few days a lot of people that I just interact with on social media, but to actually see and get to hug you and embrace you and walk through the gardens and have a conversation, we have really lost that. Imagine at 9 p.m. last night, all I could hear was the laughter of little children running around the grounds. And that resonated with me. It almost brought me to tears because it is something that I haven't seen in years. People enjoying themselves so late in the night, you know, and the storytelling under the tree, you know, having, Granny talking about all her experiences, and then Santa came, Auntie Santa, I call her. She came and she spoke about bringing back family love, and she read traditional Christmas stories, and then you had spoken word, and it was really nice. The Kiwanis Club was there, so it was a really nice occasion, just experiencing what I experienced last night. And the spoken word segment, the gentleman, he did an excellent job. He spoke about long time, what Christmas used to be like, and all, those experiences. So the children got to hear, more than what they just surf the internet and know about. They got to hear about traditional Tobago Christmas. And that is what we want to bring back.
Excellent. And I heard you start there, and all that rang off in my head is meet the secretaries in the botanical gardens, meet the secretaries at the gardens for the Christmas season. Now tell us a little bit. I realized one of the things, again, kudos and commendations to you. I haven't even made it there night yet, but you have been there every night, according to, when you're checking the follow-up, what has happened the night before, what is going to happen in the follow-up night. Tell us a little bit about some of the activities for those who perhaps have not yet seen the calendar. I know it's I think it's about 3 weeks going right down in the lineup. But tell us a little bit about some of the activities that have been taking place and those to come.
Well, I can tell you that parents tonight, you can bring your loved ones and dance in the gardens to the music of a saxophone. Oh. Yeah? So you're going to dance in the gardens and hear lovely music. And, the idea is not to just only focus on kids, but, find an event that lovers can come to and enjoy the experience, yeah? So we have had a movie night. People came, of course, you had to pay an extra $10 if you wanted the chair. After 100 chairs it went back down to $10 at the gate, and $5 for children, 10 for adults and 5 for the children. And people who didn't have chairs, they brought out their mats, they brought out their blankets, and they just, they took advantage of the ambience and the lights, and they looked at a traditional Christmas movie. And, the kids were there, they were hugging me up, they were saying, thank you, Mrs. Pantin, and they're bringing their mommy, and, it was really nice. So I think movie night, please be there. It's an experience you don't want to miss. And then some other days you'll have parang bands, you'll have performers, you'll have pan in the gardens. So it's a lot of, traditional Christmas, even treats. You come there, you're getting your black cake. I bought black cake, carrot cake, so you're getting that Christmas feel. I drove around town 4 times just to get the impact of the gardens before entering into the gardens. Yeah?
And really the kind of gem that we have right here within Tobago. So just give us an idea, what's the daily display time like in terms of the lighting, the duration that it's on for, so we know that within that time frame is when the activities will be taking place.
Right. So the lights come on at 6 and it locks off at 10. And this will happen right up to the 23rd of December with the activities. But the lights will come off with a closing ceremony at the 6th of January. Yeah? So, I'm hoping that when the Chief Secretary comes, I'm going to put it up to ensure that people know when he comes.
Yes.
Right? And he was all for this idea, because you know, he wanted that traditional Christmas spirit to come back, and families, you know, he has his family as well. So he fully understands, you know, the impact it would have had on, you know, Tobagonians and visitors on the island. So take advantage of it, parents. Bring your kids out, and you will see how enjoyable this experience is.
All right, so I've now revised that name. Come meet Auntie Natisha and Uncle Farley in the gardens as we congregate, most certainly. So just to give viewers an idea, you know, the lineup for those, just to pull it up on screen there once again, the lineup includes pan and parang, storytelling, drama, hark, the choir sings, so you're going to get choir in the mix as well, dance, a saxophone under the stars, treasure hunt. Folks, the combination is far and wide, and this is happening each night between 6 to 10 p.m. and it's happening right there at the gardens, right down to Saturday the 23rd of December. And then certainly the lights itself remain up until the closing that takes place on the 6th. Ultimately, the spirit that you are hoping to engender is one of that greater level of appreciation in terms of the Christmas season. Correct. Tell us a little bit about the ability of vendors to also benefit from these types of gatherings.
Yes, the vendors can call. We have space for you. So just call in and come. We have different things that we expect to be sold. Of course, it's all Christmas items and Christmas food. Right, so feel free to reach out, and Mrs. Pantin love boiled corn, by the way, so just in case anybody want to boil corn, I'll be there supporting, right? But you come and you know, come and sell what you have, because the crowd is thick many nights, and of course it's going to get even thicker, especially when you hear treasure hunt, so you know what's going to happen in the gardens.
Yes. So I just want to be clear, because we have one of our viewers asking about the admission fee. Is it admission to enter the gardens or admission in terms of supporting the activities?
In terms of entering, you can enter the gardens at any time, right? But in terms of, you know, having the experience between 6 to 10, right, there's an entrance fee for adults and 5 for children, $10 for adults, $5 for children. I mean, it's minuscule, you know, it's barely what, $1-2 US, right? And you know, you're contributing towards keeping the gardens clean, right? It's the Tobago Reforestation and Watershed Rehabilitation Program, right? Led by Dan Daniel as the chairman, and Kelly Manette, she's the hardworking interim manager. And, you know, they decided that, you know, I mean, if you consider all the infrastructure that went into all of it, isn't it beautiful to pay $10 just to maintain the grounds? You know, $5. It's a small cost for the type of experience you're going to have there.
And it speaks to building that greater kind of follow-up, which we have spoken to up to some months ago, in relation to we've got to begin to find ways to monetize. I pay much more than that to simply go and watch a physical space with nothing moving in other parts of the world, and we are wowed by it and we take photos, etc. So really it's to begin to engender that, and I'm happy to hear that it's coming at a minimal cost, so that there's nothing extensive in that regard. We're diving straight on over. Just before we do, anything else you want to share with us about the Botanical Gardens and the calendar of events and the happenings for the season before we dive into the bike show?
Well, again, I just want to plead to all families. This year in my constituency alone, I lost 10 people. 10 people died. And, you know, it's really heart-wrenching when you have to experience, you know, families losing their loved ones. So don't wait until, you know, something happens to say, you know what, I should have spent more time, you know, with the individuals, you know, in my household. Come out and enjoy the experience. I saw people in the, you know, bringing out granny and grandpa in their wheelchair. And, you know, that is very touching. When last, you know, you treat your family, you know, come together in a space, you know, and show appreciation to your loved ones. So come to the gardens. I think it's worth the experience. All
right, excellent. And from the gardens, we dive in straight on in. It's referred to as the best bike show. Let's start from there. I know this is an activity. This is not the first year. Tell us a little bit about that, you know, the idea behind it and the impact thus far, before we even dive into the happenings for this Sunday.
Okay, so that started because, you know, I inherited an electoral district, a newly configured electoral district, and, you know, in search of, you know, a sport, that I observed, on traveling through. I would see young people on bikes, and the bikes configured. Traditionally when you get a bike home, you just jump on the bike and ride. But then you see, people, they're extending the bike, they're putting on speakers, so I call them youth engineers. So, we have to encourage our young people into what they love, especially if there's nothing negative about it. Yeah. So I call it the best bike show. It should have been the first bike show. I like to think of everything as being the best, when we're talking about young people, right? So we gave it a positive spin, the best bike show. And the young people came out. We looked at the bikes, they drop low. I don't know how they're riding those bikes so low, but they're very creative. So it's an opportunity to just embrace the ideas that come out of the young people, rather than giving them something, from your own development, own mental space. I like to encourage people, especially if they're doing something positive, to bring out the best in them. Yeah. So that is what inspired this. So we're gonna have the Best Bike Show on the 17th of December from 1 to 4 p.m. We have $8,000 in prizes, and it is not THA sponsored. It's sponsored by myself. And it's a way of giving back to the community. On that same day, we're going to have a kids gift giving celebration for the residents of Bagatelle, Bacolet, and their children, and their extended children. Some of them, I don't get to see them, those children every day, because the schools, they're distributed all over Tobago. It's not like the school is in Bagatelle, Bacolet. So to bring them all together, all the children of Bagatelle, Bacolet, we're going to have a gift giving at the food hub. And the food hub is appropriate because of the infrastructure there. You don't have to, go searching to put up tents, put in, all that money could be directed towards the gift giving for the children.
Excellent. And you've really, through your division again, been able to, maximize and bring that space into greater use. Yes. Not even just you, but your other colleagues as well, yes. To bring that space into greater use. So just to bring the flyer up very quickly before we wrap this morning, categories are going to include best paint job, best bike extensions, best audio display, best customized bike, best drop low bike, longest drift bike, and then the Assemblyman's Choice Award. So understand that there is a category catering for each and every one of you out there, and I see persons are encouraged to register. And on the flyer there's also the numbers for easy contact and follow-up. That's 792-8530 and 485-6098. That's 485-6098 and 792-8530. Before we close this morning, you seem to be making that magical connection between managing your division, engaging with your community, and still connecting with family. How are you doing?
I'm so happy that somebody is asking me, how am I doing? It is challenging. Yes, it's very difficult. But nothing in life comes easy. I just try to, eat on time. And I have the support of loving staff. Yeah. So I want to shout out to my personal staff, all my friends, people who give of themselves freely, the division staff who decided, we want this garden to represent, yeah? And they did it from their hearts. If I had to pay a contractor to do that, it might have gone up to $1 million. But that's what you see at the Botanical Garden, that is pure Tobago love. So come out and embrace it. Yeah?
Excellent. Yes, folks, she's certainly distinguishing herself as that super secretary in the mix. And we want to thank you so much again, Anatisha Charles Pantin, Secretary with responsibility for the Division of Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment and Sustainable Development, and Assemblyman for Bagatelle, Bacolet. Yes, I may be inclined to say the best district in Tobago, quite simply because I reside in the area. But we want to say thank you very much again for continuing to make that connection. Indeed, and we are in that spirit, we are in that season, and we we look forward to this happening in all, no pressure at all 15 of our electoral districts, for those representatives to continue to connect with the people, so that indeed Tobago collectively will continue to benefit and to grow and to develop. And certainly that call and that reminder that it's happening at the gardens. Ensure that you come 1 night, 2 nights, 3 nights, as many nights as you wish, continuing from tonight and going right down to the 23rd of December. There's something happening each and every night. So ensure that you take some time out to head out into the space.
Okay, and I just want to mention before you go that we did have some corporate sponsors. I don't want to forget them. Yes, like Amplia, we had a few corporate sponsors. So we are pleading to people, if you want to be part of the Botanical Gardens project, you feel free to, contact the Tobago Reforestation and Watershed Rehabilitation Program. The number is there. It's a company, an NGO. So feel free if you want to contribute to anything in the gardens, whether it's in kind, financially, anything, any service, feel free to reach out.
All right, and if you can't remember the number for the Tobago Reforestation, call Daniel. He's always on social media. You can get him via phone. You must know the man. Yes. All right, so once again, we say thank you very much, viewers. And I know I heard Secretary Panton in the countdown, so she's going to join us now as we're heading on out to the break to say, share the live, share the live, share the live.
Don't be fearful or ignorant about diseases. The opportunity to learn how to effectively work with or even reverse sicknesses is here. Do you know someone that is suffering from an illness? You are invited to come and learn in this in-depth, hands-on training program. Call this number and reserve your space in this God-inspired, hands-on medical missionary training program going on in Tobago. See you there.
At JK Tech, we bring technology to your doorstep. From cutting-edge laptops to reliable printers, we've got it all. Nationwide delivery and a new website for easy online ordering. JK Tech is your one-stop shop for your electronics and computer needs. Carrying top brands such as Acer, Samsung, HP, and much more. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at JK Tech TT or visit jktechtt.com. Quality tech is just a click away. JK Tech. Evaluate your shopping experience, your tech, your way. Call or WhatsApp 383-2651. Shop smart, shop JK Tech.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
The Division of Settlements, Public Utilities and Rural Development has relocated its Crown Point office to Glen Road in Scarborough to better serve you, our clients. Our main office is located at the corner of Glen Road and Glen Road Branch Number 1, the building formerly occupied by Coastal. Our grant and electrical inspectorate services can be accessed at Number 2 Montessori Drive in Glen Road, Building 1 and 2.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back, viewers, to the morning show on Tobago Updates Television. I am Adana Kambi, and we continue conversations this morning in studio with our guest. Right now, we'll be speaking with Nathan Green. He's the director of Limitless Living, TT, and we're talking about giving, a Tobago project for 2023. Good morning, Mr. Green, and welcome to our program.
Hi, good morning. Thank you for having me.
Of course, a pleasure. And of course, it's Christmas time. So we're talking about giving. I'm sure we're giving because it's Christmas and because it's a time that we give love, we give our time, we give gifts. And, you know, we just want to give good cheer. So tell us a little bit about the project that you're embarking on.
All right. So the Give Tobago project, it's a project designed to be the bridge between the givers and the receivers. Our intention is to accept as many gifts as we can, so we can be able to re-gift it in the form of a surprise for families, those in need, because there's a gap between those that want to give and those that want to receive. Sometimes they're not comfortable to ask, and those that want to give don't know who to give to.
Right.
So what we are doing is creating that bridge in between.
So you're like the hub.
Yes.
You're like the collection hub.
Yes, correct.
Right. And how did this initiative come about? What was the idea behind the genesis behind this initiative?
For the last 3 years I've been living in Tobago, and within those 3 years I myself felt the pressure of life. You know, life is like a wave, you have your ups and downs. And within my downs, I was able to feel the generosity of Tobagonians. I was able to when I asked, I received, and I was offered things, and I was showed kindness. And that spoke multitudes to me. And so when I'm in a position to help, I will do so. So now that I am in a position to be a giver, my intention is to use this platform to be able to share that same energy that I received from Tobago.
And to get people on board to help you to give those that are in need as well. And I mean, we're talking about all types of gifts, all types of giving for Christmas, because I read the synopsis and we're talking about gifting somebody a car.
Yes.
A motor car, a vehicle for Christmas.
Just imagine that. Somebody that spend their whole entire year without a vehicle, not knowing that this is the month that we can just gift them that. And that will change their life. A home, a car, these things are, to some people, it's just stagnant energy. There are individuals that have cars, are sitting in front of their yard, on flats, or whatever. They're not even using it. And they just don't want to get rid of that stagnant energy. Now is the time to just release it, and to someone else, that'll be such a grand gesture of giving something that is no longer useful to you, you know.
That's right, that's right. And you know, as they said, you want to get rid of that stagnant energy that's just sitting there and occupying space.
Exactly.
And I'm sure when they move that car from on that spot, they're going to find something to do with that spot.
And it's another part of the process is when you make room for new things to come into your life. So at the end of the year, we do our cleaning up of the home. We are creatures of flow. We like to flow like the rivers. So once we are constantly receiving things and giving things away, it keeps us at a nice vibration to be able to just, I guess, blossom in bliss.
Right, I understand. But do you have a specific group of people who you are targeting? I know you said you want to bridge the gap between those who want to give and those who need to receive.
Yes.
Is it a specific group of people? Are you targeting corporate? Are you targeting residential? Are you going into communities? How do you intend to reach the people who have stuff to give but don't know how to give or who to give or if they should give? Right. How do you target them?
I really appreciate that question because I'm passionate about this response. Every single one has something to give. No matter who you are, no matter what if you could be in corporate, wherever you are listening to this, you have something to give. You can be at home and you be like, I have nothing to give. No, you have your time to give. We are looking for volunteers. Anyone that has breath has something to give. You can be a plumber. You can be like, all I have is my skills. You can give us a coupon for your services, labor, and we can give that to a family that may be in need of plumbing services. It doesn't matter who you are or what you do. Anyone that has the heart to give can contact us and we can help them find what they have to give.
And I guess the same goes for those who are in need or those who need to receive. They also reach out to you as well.
Definitely.
And is it that you're collecting a list of things that people need? Because I know sometimes you need to collect your data so that you can know, okay, so we need plumbing services, we need electrical services, we need shoes, we need dresses, we need a television, we need some curtains. Is it that you're collecting a database of...
Yes, exactly. We're collecting a database of services and skills that Tobagonians have that they're willing to give. And we are also collecting physical items so we can able to re-gift it as well. So it goes both hand in hand. Everyone has something to give. We want to know what you have to give, and if you have something presently you want to give, we are receiving it. We're having a location at Lowlands Mall every Wednesday until the end of the year from 3:30 to 5. At Lowlands Mall, we'll be collecting items to give, to re-gift on Friday. And those that are in need, please feel free to contact us as well, so we can be able to put you into that database of receivers, those to give.
Right.
If you know, yeah.
And how do persons contact you?
WhatsApp is
Right.
awesome. It's easy to manage WhatsApp messages. And my contact number is 331-1900. And you could always send me a WhatsApp message saying I know someone that is in need, or I have something to give. Either one, and we'll find, the conversation begins there.
Right, so it's at the Lowlands Mall from every Wednesday from 3 to 5:30 p.m. Where's the location? Where in the Lowlands Mall?
At the front of Lowlands Mall, just the entrance near Movie Town.
Right, awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who are viewing and listening, collection days are Wednesdays, 3 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. at the Lowlands Mall, right in front the Movie Town area. So, if you have something to give, even if you have not contacted him and you have something to give, he will be there. Our representative will be there to collect your items and preserve them for those who are in need. A distribution process will take place thereafter. So don't be afraid to bring out what you have. Make sure it's in good enough condition. Even if it's something we have to repair and rebuild, like a car sitting on flats.
Yeah,
we will take it. We will find the team and we'll find the people to get that done, up and running and working for a family who is in need. So whatever you think you have that you think somebody can benefit from, don't be shy, bring it out and give it to this project, for this worthy cause. I think it's a very, very worthy cause, and I want to commend you for, seeing the gap there and trying to fill that gap, because I also say that Christmas is a time that is very joyous for those who have, but it can also be very depressing for those who don't.
It's the time of the year where you find the most suicide. It's the time of year where you find the most depression, because there are so many people that it comes to the realization, like, I don't have family, I don't have to give. So it hits home with them. So now is the time where we, as human beings, I believe our purpose here is to hold each other's hands and lift each other up. And this is the perfect avenue and opportunity to do that. Just by something small can make such a big deal to someone, something that you don't even care about.
Right.
Could just be like, oh my gosh, I wanted this my whole life, to someone else. And it's just about transmuting that energy into someone else's life.
Well, you know what? I want to say thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming in this morning on our program, and to bring in that kind of energy. I mean, we really want to be there for each other. We want to be our brother's keeper, and no better time than Christmas time, no better time than when we're wrapping up the year and we're trying to get rid of the things that we probably have no use for, but somebody else might find treasure in the things that you are trying to discard. In wrapping, is there anything that you want to say to our viewers before we close?
I just would like to thank Tobago in advance, thank everyone in advance for supporting us. Just give of yourself, contact us in any way you can. In any way you can, just contact us and just let us know how you would like to be a blessing to the rest of the island. Because we all need each other. It's not about looking outside for help. Help is within ourselves and within Tobago. So let's stick together, let's be together, and I'm happy to be here to support this initiative.
Right, and for those of you willing to give, remember his number is 331-1900. Did I get it correct?
That's correct.
Right, so call or WhatsApp. WhatsApp is preferred, 331-1900. Every Wednesday at the Lowlands Mall from 3 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. You can go and drop your items off there and have a conversation with him if you want to get more information on this initiative. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go for a short break before we continue conversations with our guests in studio as we talk about things relating to Tobago, in and around Tobago. So stay tuned, and we're always happy that you've chosen us, and we hope to see you when we come back after the break. But remember, this is your opportunity to share the life, share the life, share the life. We'll be back.
Road to rotisserie, mouth-watering fries, salads, combos, and specials galore. Feeling for something to eat? Come and see. Our rotisserie is seasoned to the T. Kicking chicken, masala, and jerk roast. Crispy fries made from scratch. Who do you know can't beat that? Or salads freshly cut and packed. When you taste it, you'll be wanting to come back. So come check us out on number 2 Robinson Street, Uptown Scarborough, Tobago. We open on Saturday nights from 7:30 to 11:30 p.m. Monday to Thursday, we're open from 10 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. And on Friday, 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us at 772-7443 and all social media handles at The Rotisserie Factory.
Hey, hello guys, welcome. Come have a seat. Oh, this is so stylish and I love the fabric. Darlings, you must tell us where you got your new furnishings.
We got them locally at Standard. They've got new chic European furniture, crafted from high quality material.
Oh, Standard?
No, it's Standard, their brand new Hive collection.
Experience luxurious European furniture at a price you will love. The Hive collection, now exclusively available at Standard.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show. We're just at about 7:49 a.m. this morning. I'm Julian Skeet, and we're happy to be here with you. Adana, just before we head on out this morning, the Botanical, the Gardens lineup. Yes. Anything you're looking forward to? A little movie, a little storytelling?
Yes, I want to experience the movie night. I wanted to be there on Sunday, but I had a private engagement on Sunday. So the next one, I promise you, I will be there. I saw some of the participants there with their blankets.
Oh, yes.
I even saw a family in PJs. You know, and I think it's so nice. It's a welcome change to the Tobago space. It's a welcome addition to the calendar of events for what we do around Christmas time. I really love the engagement. I love that the families are coming out. I love the fact that young, old, in between, you know, even as we spoke with Didan when he was on, he mentioned that the calendar of events really caters to all. You know, the babies, the young people, the middle-aged, the older folks. So they have stuff going on for all. They even have parang, they have dancing, they have all sorts of stuff going on there. So I really am looking forward to the next edition of the movie night, because I'm bringing out my blanket. I have a nice fluffy blanket I want to bring out. I know they have chairs there and stuff, but I want my blanket, I want my popcorn. You understand? So that is one of the things I'm really looking forward to. Like and the storytelling.
It seems like we've got to look forward to this appearance of Adana in the garden. Yes. Outfit right down to blanket.
That's right. That's right.
And the full works. But I think it's really nice. Excellent opportunity in terms of building and you know, certainly reigniting that spirit of our family and that energy in terms of within here our Tobago space. And you know, we're really encouraging, and I'm hopeful that people will take full advantage of it under the circumstances. And who knows, this maybe even give way to other ideas. Us probably doing things and having similar concepts during Easter. You know, different things to be done as we add to what already exists and what's been going good for the years. We build on that in terms of ways and means of how we continue to develop and to engender that spirit within our Tobago space.
And what I like about it too is the community element of it, because while I'm at a movie night, there's another family there on a blanket, another family there, people who you might not have seen throughout the entire year. You might just be passing and saying, oh hi, how are you going? But at this event you have the opportunity to engage with them, to chat with them, and to catch up, you know, and you know, I think it's so nice. It really is nice that it really brings in that Christmassy kind of cozy type spirit and that community vibe that Tobago is known for. It gives that opportunity for that to be rebuilt. So I really hope that this opportunity brings us back together as a Tobago community, you know, the oneness, the togetherness, the love, they are so glad I see you type thing, you know. So that's what I'm looking forward to for this happening, the outcomes of these types of events throughout the Christmas period.
One of the other things I'm happy to be seeing as well, and I want to say commendations, and I'm hoping that you would share some images with us, those of you on the outside. I'm seeing a number of groups and organizations and people coming together in the spirit of Christmas to help others in need. Share the information with us so that we can also assist you in terms of highlighting. You know, it's really commendable that, you know, groups continue to take the time out. They raise funds throughout the year. They have their initiatives just to ensure that they can help some of the families in need. And I want to say, particularly for groups across the island, let's try to get that assistance as far and wide as possible. Unfortunately, we still have the one or two that may probably try to ensure that they collect from everywhere and then stockpile in the circumstances, and they may not necessarily be in an extreme circumstance of need compared to some other families. So let's look out for those few in the mix that may you know, spoil what is intended to be a good thing. But please ensure that you try your best for us to carry it as far and wide as possible. Commendations to all that we've been seeing. I've been seeing individuals in the mix doing it. Yes. I'm seeing groups and organizations heading on out there, and I know this is going to continue right down. I know as well we've seen over the years traditionally the area representatives will also do stuff. So I'm looking forward, by the time we go between NGOs, the area representatives, and you know, you look at that cross section, that families in need will really get that kind of support. And obviously, by extension, our children always benefit, because there's always something for the children in the mix, that spirit of Christmas. And I continue to emphasize and to remind you, when you get your blessings, whether it comes today, tomorrow, next week, before the Christmas lineup, or on Christmas Day, remember to share a little, you know, with someone in need. I see here our director in studio saying, yes, those blessings that will come in terms of eggs and so on, I'm going to get some of that from the baking coming up in the season. You see how it's working?
I'm looking forward.
Right, we're looking forward. We're looking forward. We got to do that.
As though this year, Julian, there's a lot more giving. I don't know if there's a lot more giving or it's more visible this year.
Yes, it appears to be more visible.
But you're actually feeling the aggression in the giving, the passion in the giving this year. As you rightfully said, you've seen groups coming out, church groups, youth organizations, financial institutions, and just giving, and it's something we want to continue.
To the credit unions.
Yes, of course, and we want to continue encouraging this, because as we always we talk about it, I say Christmas is a time for giving, it's a time where you feel happy, it's a time where you feel joyous, but there's also a group of people who do not feel this type of thing because they don't have families, they don't have the finances, they don't have the means to enjoy the season, so it becomes depressing. So the fact that groups and organizations have realized that there's a group of people who will not be enjoying, and they've come together, the communities across the island, they have come together to give and to share with each other. It's a beautiful thing, and I want us to continue this even throughout the year, you know, not just at Christmas time, but throughout the year. Let us be our brother's keeper. Let us give into the lives of others, those of us who are in desperate need. You know, there are people out there who really do not have, and they are, you know, sometimes embarrassed to ask. You know, sometimes you could just pay attention to what is happening in your as small as your community. Pay attention, form a group there, start to collect things and help walk the street, just like the politicians do with these campaigns. And you know, let's walk the streets and let us campaign for our brothers and sisters to be able to live a meaningful lives, because by sharing and caring and giving into the lives of each other.
Indeed. And a quick shout out, folks, we're down to that final few minutes as we wrap up this morning. Sandra or Tony, good morning to you. Terry Trinidad in the mix with us this morning. Good morning, good morning. Miss Carol Fraser Davidson out in the east, good morning to you. Indeed, we see Andre McSween, Brenda Campbell, Lisa Frank Phillips, Auntie Dora continuing here with us this morning. Good morning to each and every one of you. Cynthia Branch, Cheryl Solomon, and the list goes on. QK Melville in the mix. And just as I said in the interview, Didan Daniel, and he has his number there for you, Chairman, and he's 482-8189. Any questions you have about reforestation and what's happening in the gardens, or ideas you want to contribute, contact Didan Daniel. Folks, we want to say thank you to each and every one of you for continuing to choose the Tobago Updates television. Indeed, we thank you for the love. We certainly do appreciate it, and we look forward to continuing to connect with you. We're going to leave it here for this morning for the morning show, but stay tuned as we prepare to head on into Tobago Notes, followed by GMT. Bye for now, folks.
Bye.
The initiative, aligned with the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, aims to protect and promote the relevance of Tobago's underwater past.
Tobago, as you know, is an island that's exceedingly rich in history. Normally, when we talk about the island being very rich in history, our reference is to the land, all right? But as you know and appreciate, our history is also quite immense and large underwater.
Acknowledging a tumultuous history suffered on to Trinidad and Tobago by the Dutch, Ambassador to the Kingdom of the Netherlands, His Excellency Cornelius Hirschbach, explains that the countries have since enjoyed excellent bilateral relations. This continues today with the launch of the Maritime Archaeological Diving Training.
We believe that cultural heritage is of great value in an ever-changing world. Knowledge of the past helps us all to understand the here and now, as well as supporting our future endeavours. This appreciation for each other's countries continues to this very day. My gratitude is also, of course, to the various representatives of the THA, with whom we jointly celebrate the start of this training today.
The marine exploration of Tobago has captured the attention of historical enthusiasts and researchers, given the many battles fought from the 16th to the 18th century.
Given the historical significance of each and every ruin, artifact, and the structural that remains submerged in our marine spaces, namely Rockley Bay, which is the site of this project, which is adjacent to our current port of entry at Scarborough. This project provides an avenue to gain much needed research, development, and the possibility of eventual excavation of such artifacts, which even further provides Tobago with an attraction worth coming to see, experience, and hear about.
Specialist in maritime archaeology and underwater cultural heritage management, Professor Martijn Manders, will lead the exercise.
We're doing training, so we are going into the classroom and we do the theory again. But not only that, we're picking up our dive stuff and we're going out. And we're doing underwater archaeology, but especially underwater archaeological heritage management. That means we're not just picking things up from the seabed and putting them into a museum. We're thinking about how can we implement cultural heritage into society.
A total of 18 university students from throughout the region will be guided by archaeological diving experts over a 3-week period. During this time, they are also expected to encourage community interaction. I'm Ryan McCool for Let's Talk Tobago.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
Time check on Tobago Updates is brought to you by Flow, Tobago's newest fiber network.
This Christmas, speed is on us. Get up to 300 megabits per second of speed with our new Link Up Plus plan. Enjoy more speed, more channels, and free streaming for less. Plus, introducing Link Up More with up to 1 gig download speed. Download, stream, video calls, share memes, and more. Get free installation when you sign up in-store or online today at discoverflow.co.
I say thanks a favor to wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people strong and the vibes is never wrong. We are beauty, we are power, we are people in the sun. We are beaches, we are rivers, we are melanated ones. We special and there is no denying.
Welcome to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates, your source for current affairs in Tobago, Trinidad and the region, with the perfect conversations to complement your morning routine. I am Candice Jackson, and let's get started with the news in 90 seconds, brought to you by B-Mobile. It's a Christmas season with B-Mobile. A Colombian male and 2 Dominican Republic females face charges of human trafficking and violations of the Children's Act in Tobago. Davio Oscuro Silva, Dinga Yuli Los Santos, and Alexandra Chalas Pozo, residing in Riceland, were jointly charged with child trafficking. Los Santos and Pozo also face charges related to transporting a person for prostitution, with Pozo additionally accused of inciting a child to become a prostitute. Arrested during a police operation in response to information on a child prostitution ring, they were denied bail and remanded into custody until December 22nd, 2023. Minority Leader Kevin Morris criticized fellow assemblymen for allegedly neglecting to address nearly 50 questions during plenary sittings. Morris, in a press conference, named specific colleagues, accusing them of streaking their responsibility and hindering public accountability. He highlighted concerns about the THA legislature and sittings, noting a breach of standing orders governing agenda items. Morris disclosed that a THA secretary consistently deferred questions for 6 months, suggesting a deliberate evasion of accountability to the minority. He also criticized Chief Secretary Fali Augustin for not addressing over 9 questions spanning a 2-year period, highlighting a perceived lack of transparency. And finally, Minister of Education Dr. Nayan Gaspie-Dolly revealed that 10 students were expelled from the school system in the current academic year, while 3 were expelled in the previous year. She acknowledged the unpleasant nature of expulsions and noted media coverage on circumstances leading to these actions. Gaspie-Dolly emphasized that expelled students are provided opportunities for educations, such as the military-led academic training MILAT program. The minister clarified that sending expelled students to MILAT is not new and has been a long-standing practice for those needing additional support. And that concludes your news in 90 seconds, brought to you by B-Mobile. It's a Christmas season with B-Mobile.
News in 90 seconds was brought to you by B-Mobile. It's a Christmas season with B-Mobile.
This Christmas we celebrating, cause B-Mobile they coming with rating. So brace yourself for plenty prizes, cause this season will be pure niceness. It's the most deals and the most vibes and the most cars and the most price, the most giveaways, the most para. Having a Christmas season with B-Mobile. I want a Christmas season with B-Mobile. Bring me sorry, let me toast to a Merry Christmas. Having a Christmas season with B-Mobile.
Top up, buy a plan, sign up or pay your bills. Enjoy the best Trinbago Christmas. B-Mobile, life is on.
Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates, viewers. Now for this morning, we are getting into some discussions about, a little evaluation on the last 2 years of the Fally Augustine-led administration of the THA. So as you know, on December 6th, a PDP team was elected into governance, so a 14-1 victory at the polls. However, along the lines, party switched and so on, and they are now under the TPP banner. The majority of them are, but they've been in governance for the past 2 years, and it's been quite an eventful ride so far. And joining me on set to just give us his perspective and just a little evaluation on how the past 2 years have been, I am being joined by Mr. Anthony James, and of course he is a political commentator, political analyst within our space. So good morning and welcome to you, Mr. James. How are you doing?
A very pleasant morning. I'm quite fine. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a long time I haven't been here in your illustrious and competent company, I must say. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you, Mr. James. So, let's get it straight on into it. Now, we had the last 2 years of governance, and, from a little early on, you had some negative views as to how the governance has been unfolding under Mr. Augustine. And 2 years on now, has the opinions changed? What are they now?
Well, what should I say? Everything in life is based on a vision. So to know if one would have succeeded or not succeeded, first of all, you have to have a target and an objective. And then you have to see how close to the objective, you would have reached or accomplished, as the case may be. First of all, we live in a society so that the Fally-led administration, or any administration for that matter, who will be leading Tobago or leading a country, first of all, must have a grip as to where the society is. So we go on the journey of life, or in the journey of history, must know where we are as a people and where we need to go. So the author haven't had that, and if you look at where we are and where we need to go, and in fact the number one question and burning issue before the election and what they really campaigned on was the question of, I would phrase it this way, Tobagonian sovereignty. Because as a people who have been here fundamentally, over 400 years or so, up to this day, we are not really making any laws for ourselves, any real effective policies for ourselves. And we are not judging ourselves neither. We have no judiciary. And so that the fact of the matter is that in the story of Tobago, the Tobagonian is squatting. I think that's a fair and logical assessment, that Tobagonians right now, we have no real status, and so in fact we are squatting. And so how far have we moved since that time? Because that was the promise. That is a burning issue. The reason why people criticize PNM or regimes from Trinidad, because we want them off our back, off our neck, because we want to move our own story along. Well, that question really has not been addressed. You can correct me, you're in the media here. Do we know of any sitting of the House that dealt with that? You know what I'm saying? Where have we gone? Has there been any conversation between the leader of government here and the leader of government in Trinidad, who's the head of the system that suppresses Tobago? Has there been any negotiation, any overture? What about the relationship? Is null. You follow what I'm saying? It's gone into minus, in fact. And so that the statesmanship and leadership and understanding, the class that is needed, it is absent, if I have to be fair. You know, many people don't like when I'm being fair. If I criticize PNM, it's okay. But I deal with the truth, and every nation must have a dream. Martin Luther King spoke of a dream. You had Nelson Mandela in South Africa. You had Mahatma Gandhi. This is where Tobago is.
Yes.
And we have to fight for our liberation. But it's not a rah-rah. This calls for sober thinking, because this is now about building, as I often say, institutions. And so you have to negotiation, but you have to be clear in your vision as to what you want, and you have to state it, and you have to back it up. You follow what I'm saying? So in that regard, we haven't gone anywhere. Nothing has been done in that regard. You can go into divisions or ministries. I don't like the term divisions, really. They are really ministries. So you have 8 ministers in Tobago here, really, that they call secretaries over divisions. But they are really ministries. And you can go into them. In my judgment, the number one ministry or ministerial need is education. What has changed in education over the last 2 years? You have heard promises from the time of the first mandate Monday or Monday mandate? Mandate Monday. We heard of Tobago-centric education. You heard talks coming out of that. Nothing has happened.
So, I mean, if I understand you clearly, there was a lot of promises that were made, but very little has been fulfilled.
Well, the capacity to implement, I don't think the capacity is there. And if we have to be fair, you know, when the capacity is there, you hit the ground running. The capacity clearly is not there. And even with the question of the liberation of Tobago, that should be taught in the schools.
Now let's stop there for a second, because the Chief Secretary made it very clear that from this month on, he's stoking the fire quite a bit more, so to speak, in terms of pushing Tobago's autonomy forward. We have not quite yet seen the plan going forward, but we saw even from the last sitting in the plenary when they discussed, you know, how are they going to treat with the budgetary appropriations. Every single one of the secretaries and assistant secretaries that spoke, they dealt with, as part of their contributions, the need for autonomy to do more, the need for autonomy to do more. And that, I mean, that might have been the strongest statement that we've seen so far. I don't know, what's your opinion on that? And is that enough? How should we be taking that forward?
Well, clearly, because you know, I even look at the program last night here, and I'm quite convinced in my mind, not now, a long time ago, that Tobago will get nowhere unless Tobagonians are operating sovereignly. We will get nowhere. A lot of people will come on television, radio, call into programs and just talk. We just talk. And be discussing economy that really doesn't really exist really. At the end of the day, all you get is a receipt of funds from a Trinidad-controlled government that people in Tobago still erroneously call central. It is not central. If we had a central government, then we didn't need constitutional reform. We didn't need any autonomy, because it is centrally balanced between Tobagonians and Trinidad. And that's the only way we can define or interpret centrality.
But I mean, in terms of the messaging that came forth from that plenary sitting, it's statements like that enough to convince the powers that be that we really need to push this autonomy forward?
Well, the powers that be, in that context, because the assembly is a power, the other power over the assembly is the government in Trinidad. That's structure in Trinidad. And so that's where the declaration has to be made. The declaration from here has to be made to Tobago, to Trinidad, to the world. This is where we are going. This is our position. And we are rooted to the ground. We are rooted to the ground. And this is where we are. But I don't think that in Tobago here, among those who occupy office, that what Tobago is really after and need is properly defined. Our needs is properly defined. It's not defined. This autonomy is an airy-fairy thing that people talking about. They haven't done anything where that is concerned, as I said. But it's not properly defined, so people don't know what we're really after, because you're going after a scattered target. So we don't know. If we had zeroed in and we know this is it, and those who are in power are properly processed, because you can't, and this is a special project, and I must mention that, to deliver sovereignty to the people of Tobago and therefore alter the relationship between Tobago and Trinidad. Because once Tobago becomes sovereign, the relationship between Tobago and Trinidad is forever altered. Now this requires real maturity, sound knowledge as to where we are going.
And is there that maturity at this present time within the current administration?
Well, clearly not. Clearly, I mean, if I have to be honest, I mean clearly not. You see, this is not an overnight thing. You have to be processed, as I said. You have to be baptized. Even in scripture, when God chooses a leader, even before he prepares the leader is properly processed. David was anointed to be king years in advance as a little youth and could not occupy the office, and in fact he had to run from the incumbent king because he's been processed. Joseph ended up being prime minister in Egypt, but he was being processed, went to jail, all kind of different things. He's learning temperament and character and so on. He's building for that. So as I said, this is a special project, and Tobago is not getting anywhere because you can't live the $1 billion and so on that we get there fundamentally is for recurrent expenditure to keep people employed and keep people living and so on. So that Tobago's real budget to move forward is the approximate or average 300 million per year. That cannot carry Tobago anywhere. Tobago is not going to go anywhere. So that all the talk about economy and so on is really rubber talk. They're really talking about a social economy that goes on in Tobago, which we also have to address and structure. But that's minor, really. Without the ability to invest your own resources and grow them and make a projection, and so that being Secretary for Finance in Tobago is really redundant. Anybody can do that job, really. Because what you really want here is a secretary for the economy. But if you have a secretary for the economy, you really need that must operate within a sovereign realm. It has to be.
And as we're speaking about finances and all of that and managing the Tobago's economy, have we managed Tobago? Has Chief Secretary Fali Augustin managed it well enough? Because he also sits at that seat of managing the finances and so on within the island. Have they managed it properly in your opinion?
Well, I have not been satisfied with the way the development budget has been spent upon the...
Why not?
Yes, the population in Tobago, right? Because to me, when you spend, there should be a multiplier effect. You have to be focused. But that, however, was challenged and tempered by the fact that they feel indebted to finances from Trinidad. That's a major issue. You feel what I'm saying? They felt indebted because clearly, and this is something that the politics as a whole must address, the question of campaign financing, so that you will expend a lot of energy in Tobago, and when you get into power, you see the resources going elsewhere. Huge sums of money not being spent here and circulated here. And even when the money is spent here, we have to make sure that it properly circulates. The money cannot be going to one set of people, a bunch of people. It can't. It's just not fair.
And is that what you're seeing?
Well, that is what goes on in the regime before. And in this case here, it is going on now elsewhere. The money is being shipped abroad.
All right.
You follow what I'm saying?
Yes, and we're going to stick a pin right there because we're going to take a quick break. So viewers, please don't go anywhere. We'll be back.
In Inner Health, number 13B Portmore, Scarborough, Tobago, with over 25 years experience offering services in and not limited to microscopic blood analysis, reflexology, and the sale of a wide range of organic herbal products used to supplement thyroid, lymphatic, heart, kidney, and brain health, and the male and female reproductive systems. Come and chat with us. Remember, your health is your wealth.
Welcome to Standard, and today we're launching High. It's our newest brand that Standard is launching, and it's where luxury meets affordability. We're very proud of this brand. It's taken some time to get the right collection in place, and we're also going to continue to improve on our collection as time goes by and we listen to our customers more. We've changed our suppliers for this collection to European suppliers, so you're going to get that European finish. We've been very pleased by some of the results that we've been seeing in terms and response to it in the market, and we're so glad to bring it to Tobago and show Tobago what Standard could, grow with them as well.
It's not just about looking good or having materials that are easily cleaned or sustainable materials, because the important thing about this particular collection is that it is quality. It is meant to last, and it lives up to the Standard name about never beating on quality and price. This furniture particularly, especially our outdoor line, which ranges from fiberglass, plastic types of outdoor stools, outdoor chairs, even the outdoor furniture, it is built to last.
That's the importance with High, right? It's not only looking good, it's going to feature things that make your life easier, and it's not too damaging on the pocket. That's important for us.
This furniture fits the lifestyle of Tobago, of the Tobago customer, of the Tobago guest. It is the perfect type of furniture for you.
It's a different type of thing down there. Man, we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
Yeah. Hey. Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago.
Welcome back to the Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates. Viewers, we are continuing our conversations this morning with Ms. Auntie D. James, political commentator, analyst within our space, as we discuss just the last 2 years of the governance of the current administration of the THA, led by Chief Secretary Fally Augustine. Now, before we went to the break, we were speaking a little bit about the finances of the THA and how are they being managed. Mr. James says that he does not think that there is maturity in the way it's being managed, and a lot of it is not staying in Tobago, it's going elsewhere. Do you see any indication that there is going to be a change? I mean, we heard this sitting last month about the appropriation, the reappropriations of the budgetary allocations. Do you think that there is going to be a change? Are you confident? Are you looking forward for anything within the next year that would change what you saw in the last 2 years?
Well, first of all, I agree that the government in Trinidad must be challenged. They must be challenged because we are all subject to law, and while the law was made for man and not man for the law. But once the law is good, we need to follow the law, and if the law is not good, then we change. Then we change it, and we agitate for the law to be changed, so that I support the regime in forcing and compelling the government to abide by the law, and politicians must be leaders, right? But in terms of expecting an improvement, a significant improvement in terms of the expenditure, spending the money and making sure that it is properly distributed across across Tobagonians so that Tobagonians, myriad of Tobagonians can be satisfied. I really don't, you see, I really don't have that expectation. One of the things that that is plaguing the politics too, and it has not escaped this regime. Yeah, there are certain things I can't talk about, but I know of things because I'm around, right? And the attitude that we saw in the PNM before, this attitude is here also. This is our time now. I don't know if you have heard it. This is our time now. And there are many people who are ensuring that their pool, they put it properly, is filled. They don't know what will go on in the next 4 years. Many people haven't built homes and different things. They're broken. And let us not discount the fact there might be pretense otherwise. But the fact of the matter, many things you can't understand. And the reason why you can't understand is because there is this preoccupation with fixing the self. You know, remember the THA did not meet, was in March 20 something. No apology has been made for that. That is historical in the world, that a sitting is scheduled and the members turn up and cannot conduct the meeting. That's a coup from inside, because nobody went up there. There was no Abu Bakr around that went up there and held up the assembly. But yet still the assembly did not fulfill its obligation. For me personally, I mean, I don't have any, there are things that will happen which will be fine and so on, but overall to say satisfied it to be going. And then you see there is always some sort of bacchanal, because people keep misstepping and causing unwanted attention to negativity within the regime itself. So there's been that instability and negative attention when we ought to be properly focused on building the dreams of Tobagonians. I don't think you don't need the unnecessary attractions and distractions. We need to be properly focused to carry Tobago forward. I'm not seeing that that focus to really carry Tobago forward. I don't think the ability is there. Well, I know the ability is there because, as I said before on programs here, you can do a head count to see. So what you really have here, the mentality that will govern for as long as they last, will be a local government mentality. Not really different from the PNM. The PNM in Tobago is a local government mentality. And that's why they have the Tobago Council of the PNM. So that the PNM in Trinidad is the PNM of Trinidad and Tobago, or what they call national PNM, and the one in Tobago is a council. And so that therefore the PNM, by very nature and structure psychology, cannot take Tobago where Tobago needs to go. They can't. By very structure, and they have admitted that. They can't. But this regime, it pretends to have a Tobago nationalistic perspective. It doesn't have. When you check their operations and their language, they are really operating also as a local government entity or mentality, which means that they are local to Trinidad. And that is really so because of the fact that they're not really baptized and have a proper understanding.
Now, you've had quite a lot to say in the last 20 minutes or so about, you know, just your disappointment, disapproval of the way things went in the past 2 years. Do you have anything to say in terms of, are there any positives that you saw coming out of the last 2 years?
Positive. I really can't say it because you see, I really don't deal with the light matters of the law, you know. I am dealing with the weightier matters of the law. My vision, my passion is constitutional reform, Tobagonian sovereignty. Tobago must govern itself. I have not seen anything there where that is concerned. And if you come down below that layer, as I said it back in 2000. I was on the morning edition. Hochul Charles' regime was in power here, or were in power, and they were the emphasis. Most of the monies, energies were being spent in infrastructure, the works division. You know what I'm saying? And in my estimation, especially for a society where we are, education. Now, Tobagonians are leaving school every year at the age of 17, 18, 19. There's no adult educational institution in Tobago here. No real institution. So you're losing your population to Trinidad and beyond because you have not provided. And so Tobago is remaining, whether we like it or not, a remnant society, a dregs society. Because the best of Tobago, that's why the population is not growing. You depart in Tobago every year. Where are you going for? You're going for two things. You're going for education, higher education, and employment. That's the two things why people migrate. What is being put in place to stem that, right? Also within so the majority, the focus, education has to drive this. You know what I'm saying? So that's where my mind is. I'm not thinking about the little trinkets and so on. I really can't address that, or to look to comment that. What big has happened in Tobago? As I said, you can ignore every sitting in the Tobago House of Assembly. There's no game changer taking place there. There is nothing taking place in the Tobago House of Assembly. Not now. Over the last 20-something, how many years? Because the House Assembly is not changing course. It's not shaking up the place. The sittings there are not meaningful. If we know that real things are going on there, motions are being moved, and so on, the system is being challenged from the Assembly. Where else would it be challenged from? It has to be challenged and declared from the House Assembly. But I'm saying to you, and I'm saying to Tobago, and I'm saying to them, the capacity to do what I am advocating and saying here that clearly needs to be done, that capacity, that disposition, orientation, that is not there. It is not there. Agriculture, we need, first of all, you need to feed yourself. Forget all them economists and all everybody tell. And there is enough land in Tobago to feed Tobago. And in terms of the understanding how public servants interact with permanent secretaries or administrators and public servants, they're falling down badly in that regard. Public sector, you retire, your money still have to go down to Trinidad if you come back here. In the private sector, TSTT, T&Tech, on the day that you are leaving, you get a check to go with, You know what I'm saying? In the public service, it's a whole laissez-faire, unprofessional kind of, a whole messy kind of operation. So that's one. But also, why should Tobagonians today, your documents still have to go to Trinidad? What has been addressed? The land issues and land tenure in Tobago here. These are the real issues.
And then what about in terms of infrastructure a little bit? I know you touched on it.
Yeah.
When we look at infrastructure in any economy, whether Caribbean, wherever in the world, it is a kind of an indicator of the economy, the state of the economy. And what have you seen? What is your evaluation on the level of infrastructure that we've had in the past 2 years?
Infrastructure. Well, in terms of buildings, we haven't done anything. Because the construction sector has the ability to drive the economy along. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of skilled people are employed, and that will redound to benefit to the families and the entire society as a whole. But nothing has been going on really in construction. In fact, there was a period when Patrick Manning was in power. There was so much construction going on, so that Morgan Joe was complaining, and they say overheating the economy. It was so much till overheating. But here, nothing has gone on, and I'm saying we have a challenge here in the development allocation. We have a real challenge here. Where people are complaining too about the state of the roads. The roads are really in a deplorable state. But you can't really blame this regime for the deplorableness of the roads.
Yes.
Clearly, the roads could not break down overnight. That's been going on for a while. But I'm understanding also that there's a problem really in where material is concerned, to even pitch the roads and so on. They don't have it. In terms of the quarry again, there's no license to operate. And this has to be unacceptable. Right? And I've said, and I'll say it here again, our duty here is to develop our own licensing authority. How can you have a government in Tobago applying to another government for a license? We have a whole election here. We have an entire election process here. And so now we elect a government. And that government now has to apply for a license to carry out the mandate in Tobago. This place is crazy. Tobago is crazy. Tobago and Trinidad is a crazy place. Trinidad and Tobago is a crazy place.
And we'll have to leave that conversation right there, Mr. James. Always quite a mouthful from you every time you're here. So I just want to thank you for being here with us. We unfortunately out of time for this segment. But viewers, we're not done yet because we've got more coming up for you after the break. So thank you again, Mr. James.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be back.
Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago.
Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
So your car break down.
Oh, no, not again.
And you're worried paying a wrecker could mean a pocket breakdown too. But when you're insured with Tatil, no stress.
Yes!
A Tatil motor policy has lots of benefits that protect your pocket, like free roadside assistance. That's free 24/7 every time, as many times as you need. Tatil, where people are people. A member of the Antimacal Group.
The best fiber. Surfboard channel switch to Amplia. Thousands in prizes, plenty smart TVs. 1 year free service and free groceries. We surfing with Amplia. We winning with Amplia. We binging with Amplia. We winning with Amplia. Sign up now for 50% off plus a chance to win over $100,000 in prizes. Call 800-4663.
Jimmy's Holiday Resorts has 1, 2, and 3 bedroom, fully self-contained apartments located at the heart of Crown Point. Minutes walk to the popular beaches, restaurants, bars, and the airport. Enjoy our amazing amenities such as fully equipped apartments, complete with Wi-Fi, AC, TV, and a pool, and a mini-mart on the compound. Call 639-8292 or 8929. Jimmy's Holiday Resorts is your family's home away from home.
At JK Tech, we bring technology to your doorstep. From cutting-edge laptops to reliable printers, we've got it all. Nationwide delivery and a new website for easy online ordering. JK Tech is your one-stop shop for your electronics and computer needs. Carrying top brands such as Acer, Samsung, HP, and much more. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at JKTechTT or visit jktechtt.com. Quality tech is just a click away. JK Tech. Evaluate your shopping experience, your tech, your way. Call or WhatsApp 383-2651. Shop smart, shop JK Tech.
Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates. Viewers, we are now being joined by Mr. Ricardo Phillips, and he is the THA and he is the political leader of the Class Action Reform Movement. As we are speaking about the last 2 years of the THA administration led by Chief Secretary Fali Augustine. So a special good morning and welcome to you,
Good
Mr.
morning,
Phillips. How are you doing?
Good morning. Were you attempting to give me a little THA position? That's super.
Sorry, I just got my words mixed up just for a second. It happens.
That's all right. It's all good. Good morning Tobago, good morning Trinidad and the rest of the world. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you having me this morning.
All right. So this morning, of course, we are speaking about the last 2 years of the THA administration. And let me start with, if you were to rate it out of 10, with 10 being the best and 1 being the worst, how would you rate it?
With all fairness to the Fali administration, I think it's unfair to talk about rating the performance of the teacher at this point in time. And I've heard all the pundits come out with the analysis and analyses and so on in terms of how they perform, and some people say they might A and a B and a C and all that kind of scenarios. I think it's important to understand that your ability to rate any government performance has to do with their vision and the path that they chose. And for me, it's not about rating, but it's about assessing whether or not the pathway that they have chosen will actually work for the people of Tobago and for the development of Tobago. And that philosophy of thinking is extended to Trinidad. We have seen over the years that the philosophy and the pathway have not worked. And the only acclaim that the teacher can take at this point in time is maintaining the status quo. I don't think there's any change will happen, and I've said this before, I've said this during the election campaign, that there's absolutely nothing can change with that kind of political philosophy and political pathway. Because when you go on a political platform and you make promises, just to entice people to actually get your vote, it's unreasonable to expect that you're going to have any significant changes. However, I would think that the first 2 years, and with any government, and this is reasonable to expect with any government, that the first 2 years would have been your establishment and the sort of solidifying your policies and the direction in which you want the island to go. And I think they're struggling with vision, because you now have the job to do, and you realize that the immensity of the problem and the challenges that you're faced with, and I don't think that you have the wherewithal, not the wherewithal, but the insight, understanding the assignment, so to speak, in terms of how we should move.
Let's take a pin right there. So you're saying that they don't quite understand, what policies and that sort of thing. They're not establishing themselves.
Understand how to deal with the challenges that they face.
Right.
They understand their policies and so on. As I said, you are maintaining the status quo. You are doing exactly the same thing that the PNM has done, which was 21 years of painful, slow and painful growth. This administration would experience the same. If you leave them there for 21 years, exactly the same thing would happen. And so you could have all the good intention. And I want to make this clear. This is not about opposition politics or anti-Fali. I'm not anti-Fali. Because if the Fali administration succeed, it means that I will succeed. I'm a businessman in Tobago. I have people employed. I have a family here. So if Fali succeeds, I will succeed. And I have love. That is more important to me than anything else. So I'm not just playing simple or petty anti-opposition politics. I'm simply saying that it's impossible for this administration to make any significant change in terms of economics for the people on the island because of the pathway that we've chosen in the past, in terms of the political philosophy and the way they go about doing things. It's just not possible. And I feel sad saying this, though.
And then what would you like to see instead, in terms of, let's just take the economy for instance, because that's been one of the negative views about this past administration, that they didn't handle the economy to the best of their ability. That people are saying that better could have been done. We saw a slowing down of the economy in some ways because we didn't have much construction going on, and construction is the driver of any economy, well, at least one of the drivers of any economy. So what would you have liked to see different?
God, it's the first thing that happens to you and to me and anybody else. If we out of pocket, the first thing we start thinking about what I need to do to make more money. That's the first thing you start doing. What do I need to do to make more money? I said in my campaign that you have to develop new industries in Tobago. There's processing, there's amazing potential in terms of the human resource in Tobago that we haven't even begun to tap into. It's a shame. There's tremendous, all over the world, even in Trinidad, people are developing the people capital. Tobago, we have not even tapped into that. There's so many industries, new industries, technology, processing, manufacturing and so on, that we have not tapped into. You know, I keep saying this over and over. And that is how you deal with the economic challenges in Tobago, because one of the major complaints you would obviously have, and I think Tobago, the people of Tobago now has pursue economic development more than anything else, education and economic development, which is fair, because that's what's happening around the world. And Tobago should not be left out of that new trust in terms of the modernization of the world and people and so on. Economic will get you to deal with all the issues of autonomy and all the other issues. When I can feed myself and feed my family and pursue the thing. You have to match the ambition, firstly, of the young people on the island. And if you can't do that, then I don't care what you do, how much road you patch and how much thing you have, nobody takes that heart, because my fundamental issue, most important issue, is not being addressed in any sense of the way. I don't feel the sense that even though if I am challenged now, that I can be excited about tomorrow because you put some things in place and there's some new industries opening up and some new manufacturing happening and some new agriculture stuff happening and all that stuff happening while so I can see, hey, we look like we have a very promising future. So I think in terms of economics, this is where we ought to go.
Okay, well, let's break this down a little bit more. Let's start with agriculture, for instance. So if we speak to, I mean, we had conversations with all the secretaries, all the assemblymen over the last few weeks. And one of the things, of course, that came out was, you know, they boasted about the success of TADCO in terms of agriculture. We see the Capital Paradise going out there, bringing in some revenue and so on. I mean, do you think that any of that is enough? Are they going in the correct direction where those things are concerned in terms of building our agriculture industry here in Tobago, being able to feed ourselves, being able to provide food security for Tobago?
One of the problems we face with government in the past is that they always boast about government institutions, and I think success really is about how well government institution performs in terms of how it sees itself, and the measurement of success is based on the confinement of that institution. So if the institution makes $1 million or $2 million or $20 million, oh, we are successful. But I'm talking about human development. Your human capital is what you ought to develop. For example, let's ask a simple question. I've said this on one of your programs before. How much pounds of chicken does Tobago consume on an annual basis? How much tons, how much pounds, what have you? And then you look at that and you realize here's an opportunity for poultry farmers. And then that's what you want to direct so you don't have to, TADCO don't have to come into play in terms of developing that, but you people who are interested or people who are already in the business that you're going to. So now what's going to happen is this, that some of these farmers, poultry farmers, are going to be employing people to feed, to cut up, to what have you. So you understand the rippling effect you're going to have when you take that kind of approach. Not the institutional approach. Yes, you have everybody vying to. I remember when I was campaigning some years ago, I went to one of the major supermarkets in Tobago and I asked, and the manager was telling me about somebody supplying lettuce and so on, and talking about 1 week he's here, next week you can't see him, the other week, that kind of challenge. Those are some of the technical issues that we face in Tobago that you have to address at the same time.
But I mean, and just to butt in there a little bit, we saw, I mean, at least we saw something similar to what you're speaking about, like understanding how much chickens. I think the figure was 250,000. I'm not sure if it was, I think it's a month or a year, I can't remember, but right. I remember the 250,000, right, of chickens, and we're seeing that poultry initiative that was developed to kind of fill that need. Is this what you want?
What we want, yes, that type of politics, but it has to be not politics, but that type of management or strategy or policies, as the case may be. But you got to not just there's so many opportunities that is widespread that we can capitalize on, and I think that it must not be confined to just politics, but to the people development of the island. And the real challenge for us is how do we transcend the petty politics and the politics and trying to outdo. And when you talk about 2 years, what do you measure that against? What you coming to tell me? How do you measure that? What do you measure that against? Is that are you measuring that against the PNM performance? What are you saying?
And what about tourism? Let's go into the conversation about tourism now. We saw over the past couple of years, well, of course, they started during COVID when we were not getting any flights or anything like that because of the COVID situation. But that eventually got lifted, the borders opened up, got a couple airlines back in. Definitely not as it was before, but we saw an increase, or we're going to be seeing an increase of cruise ship visitors to Tobago, over 70 and so on. There was a lot of consultations that took place with the players in the industry over the last couple of years. Are these things enough to take the economy forward?
Well, the question we should be asking is whether or not the tourism policy that we employ is sustainable. Because, you know, around Christmas time, Tobago always get a couple of cruise ships in, and if you're using that as a measurement for tourism, or a measurement for any kind of success in terms of tourism or taking the economy forward, then you're seriously mistaken. So whatever activity you're engaging, the THA, the administration, the tourism sector has to ensure that it's sustainable, whatever that may be. And we can go on into a host of different ideas and concepts that we can employ. But whatever you're doing has to be sustainable. As I said, if you succeed, I succeed.
What is your view on what is sustainable?
Well, you know, you have so many sectors. For example, we have not, I mean, tourism now is a very competitive business all around the world. And if you confine yourself to what you were able to sell 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, then you have some challenges. So you have to develop now, what do I have? And you look around to see what you have that you can develop to make it interesting for some foreigner, interesting for other people. And then you have the local tourism sector, Trinidad, then you have the regional tourism sector you have to cater for, you have to specify. I am you know, really saddened by the fact that when we talk about tourism, we just keep thinking about overseas, Europe and America and so on, and we haven't catered for the local people, the inter-islands, you know, that kind of tourism. And we need to do some work in these regards and capitalize, because as it stands now, and for during COVID and the past couple of years, it's the local tourism that really keeps the Tobago tourism sector going. The guest houses will tell you that, the hotels will tell you that, the local tourism sector. But what have you done in terms of boosting that and ensuring that, listen, this is safe, this is good, we're going to create some activities here now for you to come and enjoy. I mean, the carnival was a good adjuster in one of those instances, something similar to that. But we need to see more activities, because this is what a lot of people in Tobago survive and build a business and they feed on, this idea of economic activity on the island. You have to engage in those activities, make the island interesting. As I said before, Tobago is one of the most beautiful islands in the world in terms of its potential. What exists now in terms of its potential, we have not developed. We haven't even started touching the potential of Tobago in terms of how it's developed. I'm not one of those who just complain about things. I'm talking about solutions. You have to engage the people. You have to transcend the political barriers and so on, and engage people with ideas and take those ideas and put them together and help develop the island for all of us.
Now, Chief Secretary Faldi Augustine started branding Tobago as the greatest little island on the planet. Do you think, what is your evaluation on that tagline, that motto for going forward with his time in governance? Well, that is true. Tobago is one of the greatest little islands in the world. It's true, but what is the basis for saying that? I mean, is that you're going to just try to mamagaya us, or you're going to just say things and when people come to discover and realize, what are you talking about? You know, when you talk that, you have to. There have to be something that backs it up. And if you just saying this for you know whatever, then it will backfire on you. And I think that you have to make sure that when you make those pronouncements, that there are fundamental things that at least in the interest of the people of Tobago who can defend that. Because if you ask me, I must be able to say yes, absolutely, because we have good roads and we have water supply and we have good electricity and we have this and we go on a list, and that's where my sense of pride comes in. But if you say these things for political grandstanding, then it will backfire on you at some point in time. Do you think that it is enough, I mean, that statement in and of itself is resonating with the people of Tobago to help them now be motivated to do their part in making Tobago the greatest little island on the planet? I think one of the first challenges of the THA, and what I would have done, is try to unite the island in terms of the vision. You can't control people's political philosophy and beliefs and so on, but you would try to appeal to this sense of pride and this sense of belonging to whether you are PNM or PDP or what have you. And I think that the failure in their part is to bring the island together
whatever your policies and whatever projects that you engage in is really for the development of the people of Tobago, and you have to transcend that early in the game. I think if you want people to stand with you and follow you, you must do that.
Now, as you mentioned, the politics of the situation, and we saw an unprecedented change in the politics during the short time that we were there. You know, we had 14 people being elected under PDP banner, and somewhere along the line there was a fallout, and there was an allegiance switch, so to speak, and the formation of a new party and so on. How has that, you think, affected just even the loyalty of the people of Tobago, or even the confidence of Tobagonians in the administration being able to lead?
I think we have always been traumatized by the politics of Trinidad and Tobago. The people of Trinidad and Tobago have been traumatized. Some people reacted differently. Some people just nonchalant about the whole political system. Some people give up. I mean, you far and wide, people just, whatever happens, whatever is, whatever. I think any true political leadership, any true political party have to first give the people the assurance that, you are important, and encourage people to become part of the political process. Ergo my political philosophy, that you have to be part of the political process. This is not a stand-by scenario. You stand by and you're an observer and then you complain. That's the culture that I will encourage you to hold me accountable, and I want to create a system that you can hold me accountable. I want to encourage you that I cannot do this without you, that you're part and parcel. The party politics, the petty party politics have added to the trauma and all the dynamics of power, struggle and all sort of add to the trauma. Excuse me, sorry. Add to the trauma of the politics of Trinidad and Tobago in this particular case. And so if we see more of parties and politicians transcending that, then I think you bring the people on board. Listen, this is for us, all of us in this together. Not about me standing on the sideline and looking at you, and I hope you fail, or I don't care about what you do it, or it doesn't matter to me.
Do you see any change happening between the relationship of the Chief Secretary and the Prime Minister? We saw quite an adversarial sort of thing over the past year. It actually quite escalated quite a bit between them, and there's been a lot of criticism from the people of Tobago in regards to how that relationship has played out, whether or not that's beneficial for Tobago and the development and everything that we need, seeing as how the Tobago House of Assembly is quite dependent on that relationship with the central government.
Candice, the truth about the matter is that there is a posturing of autonomy in the Tobago administration that is frightening. It's delusional for me when you look at it. Because I think what we have not done in the past is that we have not explored the potential of this unitary arrangement, which none of us, Trinidad nor Tobago, is responsible for. Because this Trinidad and Tobago twin island thing has nothing to do with the people of Trinidad and people of Tobago. This is not something of our own doing. This is a colonial arrangement. And therefore, it's like an arranged marriage. We enter the arranged marriage. Now we bought children, we have grandchildren, great-grandchildren. We have all kind of stuff that invested in this already. And here we are now fighting on something that none of us are responsible for. And so I think the Farley administration need to understand that, listen, what we need to do is to explore the true potential of the Trinidad and Tobago unitary arrangement. Let's explore that. There are people who are promoting the philosophy that Tobago is some kind of government, Tobago has some kind of independence, Tobago have plenipotentiary powers, and it does not exist. Because there's a constitution that ties us together. We have gone through independence together, we have gone through a republic together, we have gone through so many things, cool, all that stuff, we have gone through those things together. Does that all those sacrifices that we have made as a people, it means nothing? Quarter of the population in Trinidad is people of Tobago heritage. I mean, where are we going with this? Really and truly, where are we going with this? Now, I am not going to despise those who want to argue against that, but I'm saying I do not support that kind of thinking, because we have not fully explored the potential, because there's nobody in Trinidad who's dead or alive, and there's nobody in Tobago who dead or alive, who are part and parcel of that Trinidad coming together, and Tobago, well, we join in Tobago with Trinidad, or joining Trinidad with Tobago. None of us are responsible for that. We came and we met that. What do we do with that arrangement now is important.
Now, and in the minute that we have left, I just want to end with, do you have anything to say about anything positive about the past 2 years?
Well, I mean, as I said, the maintenance of the status quo is important, yes, because people are getting paid and a lot of things happening. But I think we're in a dispensation now where we transcend that. Those are things that, not necessarily take for granted, but those are some of the standard issues of politics when you talk about administration. Unless there's some major issues and we understand the challenges that you have, like when we were during COVID, I think the PNM handled that arrangement very well, maintaining the stability and so on. You give government the credit where it's due, and you also must be able to criticize them when it's necessary. I think that is something that we can say that the administration was not reckless to challenge or interfere with those systems that was already in place. But in terms of development and growth and so on, you got to have a different mindset, a different thinking that allows you to grow, that allows you to move from this place and go into a place where you transcend all the petty politics and you transcend political party and political differences. Yes, people are going to have that, but then we start seeing people now looking forward to a better Tobago.
All right, well, then thank you so much, Mr. Ricardo Phillip, the political leader of the Class Action Reform Movement, for being on with us and giving your perspective over the past 2 years of the THA administration.
Thank you so much for having me again.
All right, great. Thank you. And viewers, certainly it was a pleasure being with you this morning. So I hope you have a safe and wonderful day, and we will see you again tomorrow.